Hey folks, welcome to the Final Family Podcast. I'm Matt Castle.
And I'm Jessica Castle.
This week's nerdy news includes some stuff from Spider-Man and Daredevil. We're going to go all street crime fightery this week. We're going to talk about Twitch and YouTube gaming and some of the things that are surrounding that particular topic. I think our TV, we finally got our eyes upon the Siege of Lothal.
Yeah.
Star Wars Rebels. It was really good. We'll talk about that more. And I'm going to give a little mini review for Arkham Knight, for Batman Arkham Knight, which came out last week. And I've been playing it some. I actually streamed it last night, which was a lot of fun. It was supposed to be the podcast, but it turned into not the podcast.
Yeah.
So first up is Spider-Man. And this is Franklin. Franklin is joining us.
Special guest.
He's our special guest for the evening. He's going to be joining us and helping with the podcast and generally just kind of licking his lips and messing up our audio. It's going to be good times. So according to NPR, which I think is funny that NPR should have this particular story.
We're a growing demographic.
We're a growing demographic indeed. Marvel has said that the mainstream primary Spider-Man will now be Miles Morales.
Not going to be Ultimate anymore.
Bye Peter Parker. I don't know if he died on Battleworld or something, or if he just is now Ultimate is now the real world, so to speak, or what.
Destroyed the Ultimate Universe.
Well, I think they destroyed all the universes. They destroyed all the universes and smushed them together for Secret Wars.
Yeah. And
made a new planet of multi-dimensional things.
Apparently Peter Parker's dead. Which I say this as not a Spider-Man fan, so grain of salt, all that kind of stuff.
Well, also you've never read Miles Morales, so you don't know if he's just as whiny as Peter Parker is or not.
I'm not a Peter Parker fan. The stuff I've read,
I don't know.
The movies have probably colored that a fair bit.
They've probably covered it a lot more than anything else, realistically.
Which isn't really fair. I'm not giving But just some of, enough of what I've read.
Girlfriend problems. That's usually Spider-Man's issues.
And the storylines that I've read about online, it just doesn't really sound like my cup of tea, so...
Yeah. I personally enjoy Spider-Man.
Yay, for change!
I am okay with it anyway. I'm not particularly tied to Peter Parker for whatever reason. Yeah. I think Miles Morales will be great. It's, more Marvel forwardness and, moving forward and showing that they're a progressive company. Yeah. Because the question really is when is Miles Morales going to make his debut in the MCU, Because we are getting Peter Parker in the Civil War. They've already cast the person. I don't remember who it is, but I know it's a white guy.
Yeah.
My guess and it's also not Andrew Garfield. I'm just going to put it out there. I really like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. I thought he did a really good job. I thought he looked good in the Spider-Man costume.
The good news is, the next Spider-Man movie, they have said, the reboot again. Or maybe for Civil War.
Maybe it'll just be
Anyway, we're not going to have an origin story. Yeah. I read that somewhere. The next Spider-Man movie is not going to be yet another origin story.
My understanding is that the actual next planned Spider-Man movie is actually supposed to be the Sinister Six kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if Spider-Man would be in that.
I would imagine so. I don't know. But I don't know if I'm remembering something real or if my brain's making it up. Mm-hmm. But I want to say that Andrew Garfield is not going to make another
I don't think he's going to make any more.
So,
which I think is kind of a shame. I really do think he did a good job. Yeah. He was a lot better than Tobey Maguire. The last one was not him. I think it was just a crap.
It was
crap story. And the Rhino thing was some stupid shit.
It was some screenwriting issues.
It was still better than the third Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
By far. And that had Venom in it, for God's sakes. But yeah, Mecha Rhino was stupid, and he should have been left out. They paid way too much money for Paul Giamatti for that one.
I'm not, I'm not emotionally invested, so I have no problem with this whatsoever. I'm sure that there are parts of the internet that are horrified.
Exploding and horrible, yeah. I mean, I can see Peter Parker has been Spider-Man forever. You know?
Yeah. But see, to me, that makes it, I don't know, like...
Well, I mean, it's the same thing with, like, Superman.
Yeah.
Or Batman. I mean, we've had another Batman.
Yeah.
We've had several Batmans. However, Bruce is pretty much always Batman.
But I'm saying, like, you know, I have less of a problem with introducing a new Spider-Man than, like, a magic spell happening and Peter Parker is all of a sudden half Latino, half black.
That would be stupid as hell.
Like, you know, because they could
I didn't even think of that level of stupidity.
Yeah.
That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Like, horrible.
So, I mean, anyone who's not an idiot, just going to put it out there, anyone who's not an idiot will admit that comic books need more diversity. And I think this is the way to do it. I mean, Miles Morales is not a new flash in the pan character. He's someone that they've
very
built
well
an
established. He's got an audience. He's very popular, is my
Yeah.
understanding.
And even if Peter
I've never met the Ultimates, but I know they're like
Yeah.
not targeted for me, or were not when
Yeah,
they invented them anyway.
Yeah.
They were meant for, you know, getting teens and stuff involved in comics, and I was already in my 20s by that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting. It's good stuff. It's been a progressive week.
It has.
Right? Like, man. We'll talk about more progressive things later, maybe. Alright, so we also found out, again, a Nerdist, or not again, I guess it is again, I don't know. Nerdist always gets the best exclusives with Netflix stuff. But apparently, Nerdist reported last week that Frank Castle, or as we all know him as the Punisher, is actually going to be, like, the prime, like, he was actually...
And they've cast him.
They've cast him. It's Shane from... I know he's got a real name, but he's Shane.
He's Shane.
Actually going to find, do they source it? Anyway, basically one of their sources is quoted as saying...
John Bernthal.
There you go. This will be the, you know, Daredevil versus Punisher is what season 2 is going to be, basically. Which I'm down for. Like, I think that will be awesome as hell.
I know nothing about the Punisher other than the first movie I watched.
He just kills people? I mean, that's all I really know. I mean, he's like a vengeance guy with guns. He's the Red Hood.
Yeah.
I mean, just like extreme Red Hood.
Yeah.
Right. And for those of you who don't know who the Red Hood is, go read a book. I'm not that mean, though. It's Jason Todd's persona after he comes back to life after the Joker beats him to death. Oh, sorry, I have Jason Todd on the brain from Arkham, Arkham Knight. Oh, look, Frank is making an appearance again. Hey, Frank, he's interested in Jason Todd too.
I think it's good casting.
I do. I think he's got like crazy gun wielding lunatic down
pretty well.
Pretty great.
Yeah, and he has the physicality. I think,
he's got a good build to him.
Because the Punisher doesn't really need to be like a scrawny, wiry
guy.
No. You know, he needs to be...
Which they've cast a lot lately. Like, I would say the guy that cast as Matt Murdock is kind of scrawny. A little bit.
Well,
I mean, okay,
not
he's
the
not...
scenes where his shirt's off.
No. Even I have to admire that.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I mean, he's still thin.
But
he's
to me,
but I guess you want him.
Martial arts.
Yeah, you want him to have more of
a
Spider-Man-y build than you want him to have like a Colossus build, I suppose.
Yeah, but the Punisher needs to be a large, intimidating guy.
Yeah, somewhere between Spider-Man and Colossus. Yeah,
so,
like Wolverine-y.
Yeah, and there's a lot of kind of the internet has just. I don't know if there's been something in an interview or what. But the internet has just, like, conceded that Elektra is going to be in this next season,
Well, I think there's been, like, some heavy rumors coming out of that, too. So, my guess is that it's going to be a very, like, love triangle-y thing. Or maybe the Punisher will be after Elektra because there are times that I think she does...
she bounces back and forth.
She bounces back and forth. And, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. The thing is, like, I don't know enough about these characters to be super invested.
Yeah.
To the point where, like,
this is not
if they get something,
X-Men movie.
Yeah, like I'm thoroughly. Why did you got to bring it up? I wasn't going to do it. Like
you were thinking it though. You were thinking it.
I'm not so thoroughly
as soon
invested.
as you said invested, I was like X-Men.
Anyway, I'm not so thoroughly invested in these characters as I am in something like the X-Men, yes.
Yeah.
Or even Spider-Man, or,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm actually real super invested in the Avengers, honestly, as a comic book. It just wasn't my era of comics. I mean, I've read a lot since getting back into comics, but yeah, there's not that investment, and so I'm able to take all of this a lot easier, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't really know how much they're feeding off of comics and how much they're doing their own thing, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I'm not going out and desperately seeking Daredevil books for the purpose of getting ahead or something like you would for like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, I'm pretty stoked. I think it's going to be, it looks...
I'm excited.
Like, I think Shane's got, like I said, I think he's got Crazy down real good.
I am excited.
We gotta figure out what the hell that guy's name is.
I said it. It's John Bernthal.
Oh, okay. I was looking for their source.
Oh.
That said Daredevil versus the Punisher. Anyway,
I am excited to see John in a role that is written a bit better than Shane. Because when Shane started going crazy,
Shane started going down. It
was kind of like this.
It went super cheesy and stupid. Like it went bad in a very quick way.
I'm excited because I think he's a good actor. I mean, he did pretty well with what he was given. So I'm excited to see him in a role that because the first season of Daredevil was, some of the lines were kind of cheesy, but you're always going to have that in a comic book,
right?
You can't talk about heroism and darkness and lightness and and not have some lines come off a bit cheesy. But overall, I think it was very well written, and all the characters were pretty well drawn for the most part.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
I hope I hope Daredevil gets a little funnier again. Ooh, sorry, friend.
Really? All over my arm. All over my arm.
Because if you don't have child fluid on you, you have to have dog fluid on you.
Yeah, basically.
So, anyway, on to, I guess we'll just continue with the comic book news. Or at least comic book movies anyway. So the Green Lantern reboots are getting some heavy rumors too for casting.
Yeah. Part of me thinks that this is just all like Tyrese Gibson really trying to get this role.
Maybe he is. He's spreading the internet rumors himself.
Coming from his Twitter and his Tumblr, or his social media, which I would find hilarious.
I'd be kind of okay. I mean, he's a little young for I think a Jon Stewart.
The thing is, I've only ever seen him.
But he does good in the Fast and the Furious. He did pretty well in those movies.
But that's not like Jon Stewart.
No, but he's like stern. He's not stoic is the problem. He is stern. Or at least his character is in the Fast and the Furious. From time to time, he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's a very pragmatic kind of character, right? Like he's not woohoo. Or well, I mean, he is when he's driving in the car, but everybody is, right? Like, if I was driving that fast in the car, I'd probably be pissing myself. And then going, woohoo!
Well, they aren't driving in the car.
Whatever.
They're
Anyway.
green screening it.
Anyway.
You could green screen it without pissing yourself.
I could, maybe.
I'm pretty sure you could.
Maybe.
Pretty sure you could.
It'd be difficult. I might piss myself in, like, seeing post, when it's all done.
But anyway. So 2020.
It's rumored that 2020, that's when the reboot is supposed to come out in theater.
I know. The 2020 movie.
So the rumors are basically that there's going to be multiple lanterns,
which I'm totally down for.
So I mean, when I say multiple lanterns, there was multiple lanterns in the Ryan Reynolds movie,
but multiple human lanterns.
Multiple Earth lanterns, and the rumor is Chris Pine for Hal Jordan and Tyrese Gibson for Jon Stewart.
I think that Chris Pine, his take on Kurt.
He was Hal Jordan. Yeah,
Hal Jordan in space, which is
Hal Jordan.
Lantern.
Kirk in space and how he's just Hal Jordan. He's Hal Jordan without a ring.
So I think
what would Hal Jordan do without a ring? He'd be the captain of the fucking Enterprise. That's what he'd do.
So I think that casting's pretty good. Like I said, I don't know the range of Tyrese's
okay. So I think Chris Pine is one of those few exclusions I would say to my rule, right? Like my rule is well-known actors should not be comic book characters, right? Yeah. They generally bring way too much of themselves to a role. You know, we as an audience see them as, you know, like I'm not sure about Will Smith, right? In Suicide Squad, because Will Smith, I see him as Men in Black guy. Or J? I don't remember.
There's so much about that movie that makes me worried about it.
But I mean, in that particular instance, or for instance, when I was right about Halle Berry being a terrible Storm, right? Like she brings so much Halle Berry to the game that Storm doesn't have a chance to bleed through, right? And it's not necessarily them acting per se, right? Or maybe it is. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But a lot of it is our perception. It's yeah. Like Julia Roberts could never be a comic book character because she's fucking Julia Roberts, and well, also there's no comic book characters that like are old enough to be Julia Roberts.
That's not true. I'm sure there's someone. That's ugly. That's
By the way, Julia Roberts is still looking great. Like she's still an absolutely beautiful woman. Still anyway, she's not a great actress. I don't like her. Whatever. But I mean, I think I'm pretty stoked about Hal and Jon Stewart being in. I like that pairing because they're very different, right? Like Hal is very like free gun kind of guy,
buddy cop movie in space.
Yeah,
like that's.
I'm okay with that. I didn't really think about that. Oh, you know what would be even better? I said it before and I'll say it again. Idris Elba would be the best Jon Stewart ever, right? He would also be the greatest space Murtaugh ever.
Which one's Murtaugh?
I'm too old for this shit. Oh. He'd be like, I'm too old for this shit. And Hal would be like, woohoo, I'm going to go jump off a building.
Basically. Yep. Lethal Weapon in space.
I'm good with this. Please do that. Please do that, DC.
But DC
I know you won't because,
humor.
no humor, no fun. We're not going to have fun movies.
Maybe by 2020 they'll learn. Learn. Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Whatever. Maybe. They're still playing fucking script Yahtzee over there for Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
I know.
Kills my soul every time I think about it. Even though Aquaman's lame.
Don't you say that?
I already said it. It's out there. I'm not taking it back. Aquaman is fucking lame as shit.
No, it's not.
He has fish telepathy. For God's sakes. He can swim fast, and he's strong.
I wish I had...
Fish telepathy.
I wish we could show you the picture I ran across.
He has some epic-looking art. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I ran across, like, some fan art where it was like, who's the bitch now? Like, Aquaman going, like, who's the bitch now? And he's calling forth Cthulhu from the depths of the sea. You know?
Well, he does cracking shit sometimes. But it's still, Superman will whoop his ass in, 20 minutes and be done.
But that's Superman. You can't...
Batman would beat Aquaman. You see, that's a catch-22 because you love Batman. You know I'm right.
Probably. Because Batman is smart.
No. Batman would beat Aquaman without a contingency plan. Like the case of contingency plans that he has for everybody. He doesn't bother having one for Aquaman because Aquaman is lame as shit.
He would need a contingency plan.
Aquaman is lame as shit. For God's sakes, there's a spoof song about how Aquaman is jealous of Batman.
But that's because of Aqua Friends. Or Super Friends. Everyone thinks Aquaman's lame because of Super Friends.
It's because Aquaman's lame, Frank. Tell her.
No, he's not
Tell
lame.
her.
He's not lame.
He's lame.
Look right there on the mic. Look at the light. Look at the light. See? And say, no, Aquaman's not lame.
Aquaman is the lamest fucking hero, period.
No.
Name one hero that's lamer than Aquaman. Other than Dazzler. Namor. He's equally lame as Aquaman. I said more. Dazzler. I'll give you Dazzler.
Plastic Man.
Plastic Man can stretch. He is Mr. Fantastic, effectively.
Still lame.
It's not lame. Yes. He can do all kinds of crap.
Booster Gold.
Booster Gold is awesome. At least he's funny. Also, he's super strong with his suit. He's basically Batman from the future. And he can fly.
He's not Batman from the future.
He's
dumb.
He's like special needs Batman from the future.
Anyway, go on. Because this is something we are never going to agree on.
Right.
Ever.
Let us know, Internet. Tell us, what do you think? Is Aquaman lame as shit, or is he the bestest character ever?
I never said he was the bestest character ever.
Either
I
way.
just said he wasn't
the
lame.
Internet deals in extremes. You know this just as well as I do.
That's true.
Bestest or lame?
That's true. Now, a true battle to find out who's the bestest and who's the lamest.
Of the Internets, anyway. Yeah, so was it 2 weeks ago? I guess it was 2 weeks ago, just before E3. Yeah. Google announced that they're going to start their own streaming service, basically called YouTube Gaming.
Yeah.
Which I think is super interesting. Actually, YouTube has been trying to break into gaming for ever, basically. Yeah. With very little success. They like all of the stuff, like streaming to YouTube directly kind of blows, right? Like you can't moderate chat. There's like loading issues. There's always glitching shit and terribleness. So like what we need is like basically Twitch, but with better archival, right? And better search tools, which is exactly what Google does,
I mean,
right?
There's a lot of things built into
There's
Google
a lot of things built into
YouTube.
YouTube that are already like super great features for like a Twitch service. And like if they could just make it so that chat had moderators, which they've said they will apparently, as one of the features they're touting. This streaming, they actually recently put up streaming in 1080p at 60 FPS to YouTube. Wow. Which is impressive, I think. It's not... Yeah. And I mean, if you've got the internet to support that, that's crazy shit, right? Like, you've got to be pushing like 20 megs up or something. It's not easy to do that. But I mean, that's impressive video, right? Like, that's playback video only, generally speaking. Yeah. Hell, I don't think... we are like 100 down and 10 up, and I don't think we could do 1080p 60 FPS.
Probably not.
I don't think so. Google, I think actually Google may have an edge on Twitch. I mean, Twitch has a very established community.
That's gonna be, I think a bunch of, new streamers are going to naturally go to YouTube just because it's integrated with everything. If they can make it really user friendly.
Like, that's what I was thinking though, right? Like, cause Twitch does have an extremely large community involved. However, so does YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And if they make the YouTube gaming very seamless with just YouTube, and they're featuring streams as well as videos on your YouTube homepage, which is something I would want. That's something I would want, right? I would want streamers, streamers I follow as well as like my sub box, basically. Yeah. On my home screen. I mean, they could really drive a community or create their own, really. Yeah. They've already got a number of big streamers out there that are not... Well, I guess they're big streamers. They're big YouTubers out there that are going to be streaming. But getting things like, exclusive broadcast rights for E3, which I don't think will ever actually happen. Because I think it's going to be one of those things like... Yeah. They're gonna push that out to everybody, right? Because YouTube hosted E3 this year too, as well as Twitch, and basically YouTube was my backup for Twitch. Yeah. Mostly because I like the commentators they have on Twitch. Better. A little better, but that's me.
It really, it remains to be seen because they haven't rolled it out. But I mean,
they have way more money to throw at this thing too.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the things, and we'll link this, is a Tech Radar article that we're basing a lot of this stuff off of. If they could, and YouTube already does this. YouTube actually uses HTML5, so you can, and what that means basically is that you can view a YouTube video in your mobile browser, right? As opposed to having to use the YouTube app. You don't have to have the YouTube app. It's just part of the web page.
Twitch does not.
Twitch does not have that. You have to use their app.
Which is not very user-friendly.
Which is not... Like, I couldn't even find my own damn stream without having to do, like, an explicit search for it last night. Because I wanted to, like, keep chat up on my tablet and, and play. full screen because I hate that. I hate how it is. Like, I wish there was an overlay in PlayStation. I'm just going to go off on a tangent.
Okay.
My wish for one option in broadcasting from my PlayStation 4 is to have, like, the comments come up green screen style onto the monitor as opposed to having, like, a dedicated bar over here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this dedicated bar shrinking my damn screen space. You know, have...
You bought a big TV
I bought a big fucking TV for a reason, right? Like, I don't want it to be 6 inches smaller.
Yeah.
Like, and so instead of having, like, and you could have it in the same space, right? Just
yeah.
right underneath the picture or right over where the picture is. You have the option to have, you know, either a truncated version of chat or, you know, just like an overlay of chat as opposed to, you know, that overlays on top of the game as opposed to making the game screen smaller. That's what I would like.
This might be distracting, but even like have that 6 inches or whatever disappear if no one's chatting and reappear.
That would be good too. That would probably be resizing performance-y stuff that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah, I mean,
that's true.
I think, and so I think one of the other valid points they had here for, you know, YouTube gaming actually being more successful than Twitch would be for them to have a better contract system, basically. Yeah. Apparently Twitch does a 50-50 split with ad revenue and...
I didn't even know
or not
Twitch
even ad revenue.
Had revenue
but,
possibilities.
Oh, yeah. You can get the sub button, and the sub button is usually like $5 a month.
Oh, okay.
And apparently that's split between the YouTuber...
Okay.
Or not the YouTuber, but the... Woo! Sorry, Frank. You okay? Getting old, Frankie. It's split between the streamer and Twitch at like 50-50. Yeah. But I mean, you do a 70-30 split, and that's just looking a lot more attractive, right? Like, I mean, that's
more money.
A fair bit more money, right? And I mean, I understand where Twitch is coming from. I think 50-50, honestly, is pretty good, right? You're offering all of the technical service, and and basically the other 50% is the entertainment value, right? Yeah. And while, yes, the entertainment value does drive, you know, the community, if you can't see the entertainment, you can't have a community, right? Yeah. So, I think it's interesting. I think it's going to be pretty cool, hopefully. If they give me an invite, I'll probably abandon Twitch for YouTube gaming. I mean, I don't stream a whole lot anyway. I think it's cool.
How integrated they can make it is going to be the big thing.
How seamless it can be with normal YouTube will be really key to its success, I think.
And I really think there are going to be people who like get into streaming and get into watching people play games that never would have before. Because it's like, I mean, before we started Extra Life and all that, I didn't know that Twitch existed and that it was a thing, you know? So, I mean, unless you know some kind of hardcore gamers, you know, you're not likely to have run across it.
Right.
So I think, you know, that's gonna...
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would straight up quit my job if I knew I could make enough money for us to live on.
Yeah. And
play video games on the end. Like, I don't have the personality for that. I mean, maybe I do, but I don't know. I don't think I do, personally. Not without other people mocking me to make it come out. Which is why we're here, the both of us. But yeah, so I think it's it
wasn't on my arm.
It wasn't a wet one. It was just a sniff.
There was wetness on my arm. Stop sneezing and snorting on my arm, dude.
It just looks like you're looking at my crotch. You penis, stop it. I don't appreciate it. It's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate.
We never said this was a family-friendly podcast. Other than the word family being in the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Send this mixed signal thing.
Whatever. I'm okay with it. You can't call it NSFW podcast.
That's true.
Actually, maybe you could. We'd have to come up with something weird, and I don't think... I'm not in for a brand change at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't watch a whole lot of TV this week, but we did finally. I'm sorry, it's delayed. Like it's 2 weeks ago. This thing, Star Wars Rebels premiered. But it wasn't carried on Amazon until like Monday or something last week, and we finally got our hands on it. Or no, it wasn't even Monday. It was just this past weekend. Mm-hmm. And so we finally got our hands, our eyes, whatever, on the Siege of Lothal, which was the first long episode. Apparently the format they're going to do is very like what they did in the first season. They're going to have...
like a mini movie.
Yeah, there's going to be like a short movie, basically, to introduce the season and give the setup. And then the normal season will start. Apparently the normal season will start in the fall later on. So we won't be reporting on Star Wars Rebels on a regular until then. But hey, you should go check out Amazon if you haven't gotten it already. They're selling it digitally for $2, which is $3 less than what they sold the first one for. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. At least there's that. As far as other than being cheap, it was a really great episode.
I have to say I'm glad to have the return of badass Darth Vader.
Super ruthless Vader. What's that town? Burn that fucker. Yeah. Just burn it. We know they're not there. We know they're not there. Burn it anyway. We need to rule by fear. Yeah. Which is basically what the most of the episode was about. Yeah. About reestablishing Vader as a horrible, ruthless killer. Yeah. You know, a dark Lord of the Sith, and not a crying little bitch for Padme.
A torn,
also known as crying little bitch. Bitches be bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Prequel Vader. Yeah, no. Darth Vader doesn't cry. There's no crying on the dark side. Yeah. No crying on the dark side.
And I have to say, I really spoiler for last season.
Okay, yes, totally. Spoilers for all the things, right?
Spoilers for all the things. Did you notice when he was like, yes, that was Anakin Skywalker's princess. Not mine. He
refers to he does that reference. Yeah. He does that style of referencing in the original trilogy too when he's talking about Luke. He's like Skywalker's apprentice. She's come back. Yeah.
It's once again a return to
So yeah, of course, Ahsoka is back. Jessica's still working through the Clone Wars. I think she's about halfway through the first season. Only 5 more to go. You never watch it. Unless I tell you to.
No, that's not
Unless
true.
I remind you that it's there. So yeah, Ahsoka, senses Vader, and she freaks out and passes out. Yeah. Basically, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Which, I really hope they're wrong, but I don't know how they're not going to be wrong. Maybe because it's a kid's show. I don't know. Makes me nervous. What? Like, the internet is just assuming that Ahsoka's going to die this season.
I don't.
That Vader's going to kill her, or the Emperor's going to kill her, that she's going to die.
I still have I still have my conjecture that it's an orange hand handing Leia the lightsaber.
I think it would be
so fat. Like, because we know Vader didn't kill everybody.
Yeah,
right?
People escaped.
And in the thing, when he's talking to the Emperor, he's like, maybe we can use her to get to Yoda and Obi-Wan. And clearly he doesn't, right? Because Obi-Wan is exactly where he started. And at the end of the third, episode 3, to the beginning, he's always on Tatooine. Yeah. Or whatever. He may not always be on Tatooine. Obviously, he could leave and come back.
Just putting it out there.
But home base is Tatooine.
Just putting it out there. Just saying that
I mean,
Darth
she's clearly
Vader,
not going to be in episode 7.
Yeah. Darth Vader, not the best detective. If he could not find Luke.
Mm-mm. Or Leia, who was a fucking senator in the goddamn conversation.
Well, I mean, that at least they gave he didn't know it was twins, and they gave the baby
whatever.
Away.
Still. Still.
But
he should have been able to sense her ability.
Yeah.
She's a Force user. I mean, she didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, but still
there's no indication that there's a mutant, puberty thing that happens with the Force, right? Yeah. People are strong with the Force. You have latent abilities that you then learn to enhance and control. Sorry. I have to pick on Franklin. He gives us dirty looks when we do it. So yeah, I mean, he should have been able to sense Leia. Worst detective ever. Also, still, R2-D2, hugest dick in the Star Wars universe.
Really is.
Like, seriously. Never having a memory wipe. It just, yeah. That's like the biggest plot hole in all of Star Wars is R2-D2's existence, basically.
They're totally going to have to figure out a way to fix it.
No, they won't. Just don't. There's no point in bothering
They'll
at this
fix it in
point.
Rebels. What do you want to bet?
Nah.
Nah.
There's no point to it. There's no point to fixing it.
He's just an asshole.
He's just, yeah. He's a droid. Nobody's thought that far about it, like, except for us, apparently.
I guarantee we're not the only
I'm sure the internet has gone on, waxed, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, it was a good setup. You know, Kanan, I thought it was actually really cool. Kanan is actually very, you know, apprehensive about joining the military and joining an organization and having another war. Even, you know, he's like, I've already been through one war.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for another one.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really reiterates the character building they did in New Dawn, which is one of the novel where he and Hera meet. You know, he's very much a loner, man. He doesn't, like, he's drawn to Hera and he feels like this is his small family and these are all the people he wants to care about.
Yeah.
And I can personally understand that. Like, these are the people that, you know, I have
this
my
is
people.
My circle.
This is my circle. My circle doesn't need to be bigger. Completely cool with the size and content of my circle. You know? And he's very much the same way.
Yeah.
Like, you know? I mean, I think Ezra gets in largely because, you know, he's a Force user too. Yeah. And he's the first one that Kanan's, you know, encountered that's not, you know, dead or dying or, you know, trying to get him to run back at the Empire and fight, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a good episode. I think it was a good episode for Vader specifically. Yes. And I think it was a good Kanan episode too.
Yeah.
You know, Kanan stands up to Vader.
For a second.
For like a second, and then he's like, get the fuck!
We can't do this! He knows his limitations.
Run, motherfuckers, run! So yeah. I've enjoyed it thus far, all 45 minutes of it. So I guess on to Arkham Knight. We have some, I guess I can post the gameplay I have from last night on the YouTubes. And just convert it over or whatever.
Yeah.
Arkham Knight, if you didn't know, is the third installment or technically it's the fourth installment, but it's the third chronologically in the Arkham games that Rocksteady puts out. And actually it's the third game that Rocksteady did.
Oh.
And so, yeah. It takes place several years, I guess, right after Arkham City.
Yeah.
Right? And you start the game out actually cremating the Joker's body. Like, you actually, like, I was, like, sitting there thinking it was a cinematic, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then I started, like, kind of moving the joysticks, and the flames started spraying, and I'm like, oh, okay, burn the Joker, burn him! So far, it's super open world. It's like a good Watch Dogs with a Batman skin on it.
Yeah.
Like, which is exactly what Arkham City was, right?
What you were promised Watch Dogs would be.
Yeah. So like all the things that I wanted in Watch Dogs and hoped that it would be, but with a Batman skin and I can glide, also a Batmobile. Oh my god. Okay, so the Batmobile, they're clearly, like, leaning on this thing like it's a broken fucking crutch. Like, it's everywhere. Like, it's everywhere. You do basically everything in the Batmobile. But it's fun. It's really fun.
Did you see that text from Superheroes I sent you today?
I don't think I did.
So.
Oh, yeah, you know. Well, did you just run over the... No, it's protected by electrical.
Yeah,
it just knocks them out.
Yeah.
But you just hit them with 50 tons of, oh my god, did I kill those guys? And yeah, you do. You totally
I find
am rolling through
hilarious.
Gotham. Like, I have
how they're always like, you just put your knee through that dude's trachea, but he's just passed out.
Yeah.
You can look through your detective goggles and see his vital signs that he's
okay.
No, he's not okay. He's a vegetable. You just made him a vegetable.
Yes, vegetative state for that guy.
I I love that they're so careful to make sure that Batman
the big
doesn't
guys,
kill
right?
anyone.
Like the big guys, you always have to like stuff. Apparently, Franklin wants to come sit in your lap.
You want to sit in both of our laps.
Apparently, the big guys, you have to stun them, and you just have to like pound them in the chest like a bunch of times, like 20 to 30 plus times to knock them out. Okay, so you're hitting them in the chest and in the midsection, like. Clearly, you're going to charge create some internal bleeding at some point. Yeah. Like, you're cracking some ribs in there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, after that, when they're dazed, you fucking grab their head and snap it into your fucking knee, knocking them out finally. Yeah. That person's totally not going to live as a vegetable for the rest of their lives in a home for,
There's the Batman retirement.
There's a Batman retirement home for henchmen.
That's why that's why it's hard to be a crime boss in Gotham
because everybody those are the few guys that haven't had their asses kicked repeatedly.
Those benefit packages are really expensive for henchmen.
You got to have good benefits. That's why the Penguin has the best henchmen, because he offers dental. I swear to God, last night I was playing, I think I actually did see teeth fly out of a dude. Like, I don't know if it was just like the effect, like a particle effect of like a critical hit or whatever, but like it looked like teeth in the moment from the angle that I was at. Frank is so gonna fall.
I know.
There we go. Okay.
Bruising me, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's leaning on me.
No,
okay. Just lay down, Frankie. Lay down.
Just lay
okay. There we go. So I haven't finished it. The game says I'm like 38% of the way through or something like that. Which is saying something because, But I am kind of playing completionist, like, with a lot of the side quests. Actually, one of my favorite features is that you can select your mission, and so you don't have this glut of shit on the map that you can go do, right? Okay. Because that's one of the things I always hated. It's not, like, there's just a glut of shit in Arkham City where you can't see what's what. And so, the fact that you can pick your side missions, and pick which mission is the primary mission on your radar is super great to me. And so, like, I end up just, honestly, picking whichever one is the closest. So it's kind of spreading the whole experience out for me in a way that I'm really enjoying, actually. So it's... I mean, I don't really like giving ratings.
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Definitely a thumbs up. It is, if you liked the other Batman games, you'll like this one very much. And... like, there's a couple of added things that, like, help you with, it's not such a long, drawn-out thing when you have to go clear that room from the rooftops like every other damn game.
You just drive the Batmobile through the room and kill everybody.
Or, now they have, like, a chained fear takedown.
Oh, okay.
So, basically, you build up fear in the room using silent takedowns.
Passes out.
No. That's the Scarecrow. We're fighting.
They all have the vapors.
The vapors. Oh! What is wrong with you? Nobody gets the vapors from Batman.
I'm just saying.
Anyway.
The way you build up the fear in the room.
Anyway, you start making all the guys paranoid and really scared or whatever. Anyway, you have a little... Yes, they get the vapors. And you get like a little fear meter or whatever. When it's lit up, you can take out like 3 to 4 guys kind of in one fell swoop. So like, basically you're like, do the fear takedown. You're given an option. Yeah. And so you take out dude number 1, and then you have to aim at the next dude you want to take out. And then as you're doing that animation, you have to aim to the next guy after that. And I think as you get, combat, skill ups or whatever, you can take down like 4 or 5 guys. And I think it's actually a really great way to like kind of break up the groupings and stuff, because like you'll get stuck where you have to like wait for this one guy to pat away, or jump down and like hope your smoke bomb lasts long enough to get the guys disarmed or some shit. which I've still done a couple times because it's just easier than the the ploy that they want you to do for that mechanic or whatever.
Just saying, I like my mechanic better.
The vapors, everyone passes them.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
He's so scary.
Basically.
So scary. So yeah, I mean, it's a thumbs up. I think I'm pretty happy with a $60 purchase, honestly. I've played it more than I've played The Witcher 3 at this point. It's a little more accessible too, and it's kind of brain rot as far as it goes.
Yeah.
Witcher is much more meaty, and I can sit down and play an hour of Batman and be completely satisfied.
Yeah.
Whereas The Witcher, I'm not feeling that so much.
You need to play for a
couple hours to feel like you've been successful at something. But yeah, it's a pretty great game so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm happy with the new release cost, so to speak. That's generally a thing. I don't like to pay the whole new release thing, generally speaking. Yeah. I've done it a lot more since we've started doing this to kind of, keep myself abreast of what's going on and, different, bring stuff to you guys, the 3, 4 of you that watch. But it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it very much. I would definitely say it's a buy. It's certainly a rent. Like, if you've never played a Batman game before, go hit Redbox. It'll make you feel powerful. It'll make you feel like Batman. But if you played all of the other Arkham games, like, there's literally no reason you should not go get this one, because it's pretty much the best one so far, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, I liked Arkham Asylum. It was very linear, and I didn't love that. But this is very, like, free roam. The Batmobile's bad as shit. Like, there's, like, the tanky bit is really cool. The little Easter eggs. Like, I found Bruce Wayne's, answering machine. Some of you young kids out there may not realize what an answering machine is. There used to be a small machine with a cassette tape. Now, what cassette tape is, it has 2 little wheels, and it's got this tape that you record audio on. It's really neat. It's interesting technology. It's yes, exactly. It's what Star-Lord uses to listen to his music. Good reference. So that's what a cassette tape is, and that's what people in the olden days used to store their messages on before there was voicemail,
or texting.
So like it was funny. Like there's like, and I really don't want to spoil the game, so I won't obviously. But there's like a voicemail from Vicky Vale, and she's like, "Why didn't you call me?" And then there's a voicemail from another girl who's like, "I really enjoyed our date the other night," and I'm like, "The fuck." And like, there's a couple voicemails from the Joker, and he's like acting like a woman and stuff. But yeah, like there's some really intense, awesome callbacks to old Batman lore that I've really enjoyed. Yeah, like it's a really great game. Some of the, actually, even on PS4, some of the texture work they've done on that thing is amazing. Like, I'll be honest with you, I thought, the first time Batman has like a HUD, he has Skype on his wrist. And so he pulls up like Alfred, right? And just the way it's kind of grainy to begin with because it's like a hologrammy kind of screen. I honestly thought it was actually a person who was acting as Alfred as opposed to a CGI character on the damn screen. Like, that's how real the texture work on Alfred looked. And, within the context of a blurry Skype on your wrist call. And it still kind of tricks my eye every time. It's really good. A lot of the texture work they've done is just beautiful. I would say the Batmobile, like, my one criticism is the Batmobile is really hard to control. It goes stupidly fast, which it should. But the controls are kind of loose, and so I find myself just kind of ramming into shit all the time. However, you can ram through basically everything except for an entire building, so it's okay.
You've totally killed some pedestrians.
Oh, no, yeah, totally. Well, they're not pedestrians, they're criminals, because all the pedestrians have been evacuated. That's part of the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so
it's just criminals we've killed
with
the 50. Criminal pedestrians.
Okay.
Oh. There's only a few people that are good left in the city, and they're all our friends.
Okay.
As far as we know. basically. So yeah, pretty happy with it. I like it. All right, I guess that's it for this week. Keep us up to date with what you'd like to hear on, the Twitters or the Facebooks.
The move has kind of pushed everything back, but we're hoping to catch up with Wayward Pines and True Detective.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about True Detective next week. That's the plan.
Unless it's just so awful.
We'll talk about how awful it is. It'll be like Hate Watch again. It'll be good times. I think I might try and start streaming a little more. We managed to get the kids to bed at a reasonable time the last couple nights, and so I might be able to, throw a couple hours up of a game up. So I think I might just stream whenever I'm playing, at least on the PS4 anyway. Yeah. There's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Unless Jessica sit naked on the couch, and that just never happens.
No.
Unfortunately for me. Anyway, hey, wait a second. Let me find our outro script.
You're not supposed to give away the magic.
Fourth wall shattered, destroyed. Will it hurt your fourth wall? It'll destroy your fourth wall. You didn't like that? It was good. It was a good reference. It was funny. It was funny stuff. So you can hit me up on Twitter at BearMonk1.
And I'm at Cerebral Lunch.
Still a pretty lame name. You need to come up with a better name.
Screw you.
You don't even use Twitter.
No, I don't. I use Twitter. I use Twitter to talk about my cats.
Your cats.
On my game.
Jesus Christ.
That's it. That's all I talk about.
The only game you actually play.
And I did tweet. Okay, one more thing. I'll talk about what I did this week while I packed. I listened a year late. I listened to the entirety of the Serial podcast while I packed and cleaned at the old house.
No.
It freaked me the F out. I should not have done this.
I want to say what the hell, because you just said, I listened to entirety of a Serial podcast.
No, Serial.
Right.
People know what that is.
I understand. Maybe not all of our listeners, dear.
Okay. Serial. The name of the podcast is Serial. Serial Season 1. It's affiliated with This American Life. And it's the story of Adnan Syed, I can't remember his last name, who was convicted of killing his girlfriend 15 years ago. And it's a look at the case, and, it's not the kind of story where, there's going to be a big Matlock reveal scene, a Perry Mason kind of confession on the stand. But it's a look at the way people's memories interact and change over time, and the way this particular case was done, and just some very shifty stuff in the justice system and that kind of thing.
Sure.
And internet, I think he did it, but I could not have convicted him on the evidence problem. I'm just going to put it out there. I think he did it, but I would have voted not guilty. So basically what you're telling me is that he's OJ. No, I would have convicted OJ.
Okay.
Because they had DNA evidence and shit. Okay. People just didn't understand what that meant back then. But I could not have convicted. There was no physical evidence connecting him. Okay. That in and of itself. But yeah, he definitely had something to do with it. Just too much circumstantial stuff, but not enough to convict. So there we go. Yeah. So that's what I listened to. So I did tweet about that. I did.
You tweeted?
I tweeted about that.
You twatted?
No, I'm not going to say that.
One day I'm going to get you to say something horrible.
No, I'm not. I know that joke. You've said it every time we mention Twitter.
I wasn't actually going for that. I just mispronounced tweeted. Hmm. It was twatted was not my plan.
It was not.
It was not. Okay. Seriously. I'm just an idiot. And I said my wrong thing wrong.
You confessed. You've confessed. Okay.
Okay, wait. One last thing on a very serious note. Congratulations to the LGBT community.
Yes.
Yes. Love is love. Love wins. Whatever the hashtag is. It's about time. Love. Yeah. It's about time that our country accepts everyone for the people they are.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week. Let us know if you like this format. I kind of dug it. And we're going to do some, stuff to clean it up and whatnot. But, yeah.
Until we get our office
in a way that we think we can make this happen in the way that it was happening before. This is probably going to be the format. It might be the format anyway. All right, folks. Let us know what you think. Twitter, Facebook's comments are always appreciated.
And subscribes are great.
Yep. Always helps out the channel. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week.
Be happy.